It's day 3 of 75 hard. I needed to sleep. I needed to sleep. I needed to rest. I went to the gym yesterday and then I walked. Today we just doing a 90-minute walk. Because let me tell you something. What's not gonna happen is someone who does not have my experience tell me what I can and can't do in the time frame that I can do it. So I have a very specific schedule. So sometimes it does not allow me to do 2 days with hours in between. So today is one of those days. So instead of doing 2 45-minute workouts, we doing one 90-minute. And did it get done or not? That's where I'm at right now. Did it get done? Okay then. So as I am adjusting to 75 hard, I am allowing myself, this is something that I'm growing into, and this is the identity part that we were talking about yesterday with evolving in your identity. I'm allowing myself the room to adjust with certain things. I was like, in my head, I tend to be all or nothing when it comes to stuff that I gotta do. With other people, I give them grace. With me, I'm the most hardest on. So I was telling myself I could only read this book and I gotta only do this one. I can't do another book until I'm done. It was like, girl, did the pages get read? Yesterday I did an ebook of a book that I forgot I had. And read 10 pages of that, and I was like, oh, this is what I needed. Versus the book that I started with, which, again, is Atomic Habits. Not to say I didn't need that, but in that moment, I needed something else. So, giving myself that grace to adjust while still getting the core part of it done. Just like with this 90-minute workout versus doing 2 45s. Is the core done? Is the core being completed? Then we're okay. We're doing the right thing for, because the purpose of this is to be able to complete it. I am a completionist, correct? So we are completing. And if adjusting some things means that makes completion more feasible and possible, then that's what needs to be done versus, well, it can only be done this way. If we don't get it done X, Y, and Z, then all of this is for void and none of this makes sense. To me, that is the quickest way to get me just to quit. Alright, but we're just not doing it then. Like, if it has to be this way and there's no room for adjustments, then it's just not going to get done. Because life happens. I'm a mom. I have a job. I have multiple jobs. I am neurodivergent. I have to navigate and breadcrumb myself in a way where I leave reminders for myself in certain capacities. I need to be able, I'm somebody who deals with reproductive issues. So on my cycle, I have to adjust certain things. So I can't go hard like I would 2.5 weeks out the month. I'm actually on that week where I would need to adjust. And so it's realizing that can't nobody take that away from you. Did it get done? And with me being the type of person, done is better than perfect. While also, did it get done? Did we finish it? Did we do the 90 minutes? Did we read the 10 pages? Did we finish the water? I'm also realizing my body can't handle a gallon of water. I tried yesterday, almost blew my bladder up. So my body can't handle a gallon of water every single day. So the bottle that I have is a half gallon. So I'm telling myself if I finish the half gallon, if I drink tea, other water, those things, because I don't drink coffee, other things throughout the day, that's a gallon of water. Because what I'm not going to do is be in somebody's hospital because some white dude or 75 hard told me I had to do something X, Y, and Z exactly the way that he determined, with no wiggle room, with no ability to be able to adjust for body reasons, all those sorts of things. And I'm not saying that the person that created it feels that way, but oftentimes that's the case. And then you get the fanatic people where this has worked perfectly for them. They can't see past what their experience was. So if you don't finish it the exact same way that they did, you didn't complete it. You didn't finish it, therefore you cheated. So now, this is getting done in the way that is most beneficial for me to be able to complete, to build, and create from this. And if that means my body cannot handle a gallon of water, or it will go into shock, like it almost did yesterday, then bitch, we're not doing the whole gallon of water. We will do the half gallon of water, and then we will stop. Because I enjoy my kidneys and I would like to keep them healthy and safe. So this is 75 hard with adjustments, but it's 75 hard nonetheless. And it's getting done in the best way possible that I can get it done. And that's all that matters. So I went live on my Substack today. It's my second time going live on my Substack, and it's also the second episode of my podcast slash stream of consciousness called Hyperfixations Updated Daily, which is my podcast where my hyperfixations may update daily, but I do not. So I post when I feel like it. I post when those hyperfixations get all the way up here and I need an outlet. And so I found an outlet this morning. One of the weird things about AI period, I did not actually do this, but based on the topic I was talking about, it created a thumbnail that said rich people get left behind. Didn't actually do that. That wasn't even the framing of what I was talking about. What I was actually saying is the multi-millionaire, billionaire class that think mainly in the sense of individualism are getting left behind. And they are the reason that they are being left behind. And as somebody who has deconstructed from Christianity, the belief systems behind the apocalypse, Armageddon, and specifically rapture, was something that I have done a lot of unpacking because it terrified me as a kid because of how it was introduced to me. And there was a lot of questions that no one answered, that no one wanted to answer, that left me in the lurch trying to contend with the fact that one day somebody beside me might just disappear, and God forbid I'm on a plane. So in that thinking of positing that Black people specifically are the reckoning, we are the Armageddon, we are that, and then the overarching belief that all the rest of us that are sick of this bullshit, the collective, anybody that does not subscribe to not only like, oh, being a multimillionaire is bad, no, not even that, because there are decent, good multimillionaires that do good things with their money, do good things with their resources and what they have cultivated over the decades, the years, whichever. So nuance, man. Nuance be kicking y'all ass. With that belief that, you know, rich people get left behind, I automatically knew that the wrong person get that thumbnail in their hands and they was going to turn this into some shit I didn't say. Somehow, I have not gotten this technology yet, with the ability to think for other people. Somehow was implanted into that person's head, and they're trying to get me to answer for it. I have not gotten that subscription yet, but somehow I own it. So I already knew the moment I saw that, I was like, oh, this is about to be some bullshit. And so, and it also would not let me either edit or change it. So I know I need to go into Canva after I get back home to fix it, but it did lean me into that thought process of somebody gonna see that and go, well, I aspire to be rich. So you telling me I'm gonna get left behind? I mean, if you choose to. If you choose to subscribe to the things that they tell you rich people need to subscribe to, which is individualism, which is not helping your fellow people here on earth that you take up space with, the ones that helps you get to the way that you are right now. If you subscribe to that, then yeah, you're gonna get left behind, because the collective is ascending. The collective is deciding that we don't think that way anymore. And so if me being rich means that I have to be the buttest of holes, and that's the only way I can subscribe and get my money and call JG Wentworth and get my cash settlement and my lump sum, if that is the only way that I can do it, then I'm cool with that, then yeah, you get left behind. Because the collective, everybody else is like, girl, we are so beyond that. We don't subscribe, we don't aspire to millionaires anymore. We don't aspire to be rich, famous, affluent, infamous. It was cute for a while, but then y'all ended up being the worst people imaginable. So no, we don't subscribe to that anymore. We don't elect to be those type of people anymore. And so when I was looking at that and going even deeper into that thought process, that's where I landed. It's not that people, you got money, automatically makes you a bad person. Even as somebody who has left Christianity, the verse is not money is the root of all evil. It is the love of money is the root of all evil. And the love is usually replaced with indifference towards people that have less than you, towards people that you deem are not up to par with you now that you got your money, now that your bag has come in and you are free to do whatever you want to do. If you are somebody who does subscribe to that, if that is what matters once you get your money and whatever that looks like, then yeah, you are that person that we are talking about. And more of the collective is beginning, and some more than others, or some earlier than others. Some are still hoping that whatever they do will, it won't happen to them. But that's on you. That's on you. If you, again, subscribe to things only looking a certain way, and in order to be able to have the riches, the things that I need, or that I tell myself that I need, that I have been convinced that I need, means harming other people, harming other communities, cultures, nations, creating things to make sure that you have everything that you need while taking from all of those that need it more. If that means being rich to you, and if that means you ultimately being left behind, and you feel the type of way about that, then that's what that is. Just like a good chunk of us have evolved past the necessity for the influencer lifestyle that so many of us had gotten accustomed to right up until 2020, and then the years after, we're not really too caught up in watching you do these $1,000 hauls and waste food and pour M&Ms into your backyard pool, and to watch you make fun of unhoused people. And we evolved past that, and those that are still banking on what got them to that point and then using that type of content to get somewhere, they're not there anymore. And then they're shocked that their audience has moved past them, while they refuse to do any inward work, any acknowledgement of, yeah, we're not there anymore. And here's why. Instead of, evolving and choosing to do something different, they get upset. And it's like, oh, you're just mad at me because I got money. You're just mad at me because I'm this. You hate me because I'm that. It's like, no, we're hate you because you suck. You become a shitty person. Like, I love the term of we've made the right/wrong person famous. I love that term. Because, yeah, a lot of what you have gotten comfortable with the creature comforts that you now have are because of people looking to you. I forgot what I was saying. My phone, my muse is knocked over. There's an affluent influencer in the wind that heard me say that, and they decided to try to take my muse out. And gotcha, bitch. So you can't get me. You cannot. You cannot trick me. Making the right or wrong people famous is how a lot of people got to where they are, and then they lost track of it because like, yo, you started to smell your farts a little too deeply, and forgot where you came from, and forgot that the same folk that brought you up here can absolutely tear your ass down, because you do have elements of accountability and responsibility when you get to that part, when you get to that point, and don't nobody owe you shit. In that regard, okay, we got you here, and then you kind of look back and be like, it's old girl from Glitter looking back and going, oh, they're no one, while she legit is lip syncing. You would not be who you are or where you are if not for the person that came before you, or for the person that did the work to get you to where you are, whether those were fans or people that supported you. In that regard, people are over the shits and are tired of being told that they should just hear damn their life away because somebody ever decided that this is all that they deserve based on what they now have, even though 2-3 years prior they were the person that they are now having all this energy for was. Anybody got time for shit? Anybody got time for it? There are less and less chances that people are willing to give nowadays because we've given out chances to people that have taken them for granted over and over and over and over again. I'm tired. If you are somebody that, by the grace of God and the ancestors, you get this coin and you are able to build these things up the right way with the right people and for the right reasons, and you are someone that people can look at, yeah, we made the right person famous, or we supported the right person as they made themselves famous, then you're not the one that's getting left behind because you've already ascended to a state of, I'm not gonna be a dick. I'm not gonna be a terrible person with money, because we are actively experiencing terrible people with money, and they are the monolith, and they refuse to really acknowledge that, nigga, y'all are outnumbered. Not only because y'all, it's only a handful of y'all, especially here in America, it's only a handful of y'all. It's even with the ones that are, worth their salt, the ones that ain't are an even smaller number. So it's like, y'all are left behind in the frequencies and the identities of thinking that having enough money is all that matters, being the right skin tone, right skin color is all that matters, being from the right zip code is all that matters. It don't. All of this comes down to racism, patriarchy, white supremacy. That's all it comes down to, and those systems are crumbling. And the people that are leading the charge of those systems crumbling are those very same people that they have been told are the ones that will be left behind. When in actuality, it's them. It's them. And they are trying so hard to try to refute that fact, and that fact keep kicking their ass and their backs in every single time. And they keep trying to find somebody else to blame. Y'all have tried over and over and over again, and it has failed to come back on y'all and tag y'all. Get her again every single time. Eventually, it got to come to you to go, maybe I'm fucked up. Maybe what I believed up until this point has been fucked up. Maybe I've been wrong this whole time. And the people that I looked down on were the ones that had the actual truth. And they ain't trying to hear me. They ain't trying to talk to me. They don't want nothing to do with me. So now I gotta do this by myself to be able to save me, while these people have done everything that they can to save themselves from people like me. It literally is what it is. And you have nobody else to blame, because people are tired. And we are rebuilding this community that is safe and is affirming and has earned the right to be here, especially black people, especially black queer folk. You don't just get in because you're skinny. You don't just get in because you're fam, because you're cool, because whatever. It's a lot of y'all getting looked at like y'all playing. That's and then you type because yeah, you are. And you got seen, you got caught. Y'all thought you was hiding it, you won't. And folk are tired. Too many of us were attempting to help outside of our communities, hoping that if we created something, a barrier, or fixed things outside of our communities, that those things can't hurt our communities anymore. And then we can come back to our communities and fix things from the inside out. We have learned time and time again as 2024 going into 2025 is evident of that don't work. That does not work. So now we have turned inward. We've turned into our communities and not holding the door open, hoping that we can fix something from the outside in, and then come back in when everything is fixed out here to fix the internal completed. And yeah, it don't work that way. It don't work that way. That's the same thought process of a black cop going into the room. I'm gonna fix it from the inside. No, you're not. No, you're not. It's the same kind of thought process reversed. I'm gonna fix it from the outside so I can fix it from the inside later. It don't work that way. And we were shown the evidence of that as clearly as possible in 2024 going to 2025. And the vast majority of us made bet. Thank you for the insight. We listen. We listening now. We were hard-headed. We were trying to do this the quote-unquote right way. And we realized that the right way was some bullshit. And now we're doing it our way. The way, the collective way, the way that it had always been, until we started to try to fix the system the ways that in the way that the system requires. It's very much trying to fix the house with master's tools. It's like, nah, the house been broken. It's like, it's the same thought process of relying on a broken clock. Well, a broken clock is right twice a day. Why the fuck are you still listening to a broken clock? Bitch, go get a new clock. Fix the clock. Why are we relying on some shit that's broken? It's 5:22 twice a day. That's the only time we pay attention to the clock. Or we can just replace the clock. When I go on my walk, I usually take a break in the VMFA when it's open. So I'm gonna take you a look around. This up with the video I just watched from Dr. Michael H. Ford, and in that video he is talking specifically about how black people were given 1.5 times more radiation than what was necessary and required back in the 1960s. And how the belief became that black people's bones are denser, our skin is thicker, we don't have as many pain receptors, or we are more high tolerant to pain. And that led to so many black people being exposed unnecessarily to radiation. And it took one person, Ralph Nader, to just bring that to other people's attention, to go, where are y'all getting this from? And no one could really express where, except for a hunch or an assumption, or the belief that, oh well, we would just guess that they would be this way because look at how much they tolerate, look at how strong they are, look at what they can handle. And that's a double-edged sword of being a black person, period. But not only just in America, but just overall, the expectation of where we can handle anything. And it's a double-mindedness of we are strong, while at the same time it's because we have to be, while also because we just are. This is who we are at our core. At the very cellular level of us is strength, while at the same time the same strength is used against us medically, emotionally, financially, physically, all the other leads. And the expectation that we can do whatever we want to them. As little as we continuously know about gynecology was gleaned off of the bodies of enslaved black women, being poked and prodded over and over and over again, some as many as 30 times, to be able to justify in the science that still don't know enough, that still is regulating endometriosis as a medical mystery, diagnosis that I have and I've had since I was 12, 13. I'm 38 and they still don't know what exactly to do about endometriosis. That very same science maimed black women in the name of it. There, in 2026, there are still doctors arguing with black women that their pain isn't real, that she must be drug seeking because she just had a hysterectomy and y'all gave her Tylenol. I'm somebody that Tylenol don't work on me. Ibuprofen, yeah, but also liver damage is what too much ibuprofen will do to you. I had two surgeries in 2021, and I was initially given, I believe, Percocet, and I ran out of that medication because they ended up not giving me enough, and so I sat in my bed unable to move, calling the doctor and also calling some people to potentially take me, because I can't drive, to go get this prescription filled. And they were like, oh, well, no, we can't give you this prescription, but we can give you Vicodin because, you know, we can't do that. So it's kind of like understood, but also not. And one of the things that I said to that surgeon when I chose him was, I've had a really bad medical history of doctors not listening to me. I'll tell my birth story one day on here. I've told it in other places. But I've had a really bad history of medical doctors not listening to me. Because I don't know my body. I'm not with me every single day. They know more than me. And so, with that thought, I need to know that you're not going to abandon me or make me feel some type of way because I don't subscribe to something that you subscribe to, or I'm not feeling what you are telling me I should feel, and vice versa. And I said that to two doctors when I was looking for a doctor to do this surgery. And he was the only one that understood what I was saying. And he said it to as he was putting me out for the surgery. Oh, y'all pissed me off so bad. When he was putting me out for the surgery, he said to everybody in the room, we're going to make her as comfortable as possible. And this was not a black doctor. We're going to make her as comfortable as possible. She has had a rough go of it. I had also just 2.5 months from there had lost my mom. So he was like, we're going to make this as easy as possible for her. We are not going to cause her any undue harm, any unnecessary stress. We are going to make sure that she has everything she needs and she's good to go. And so with that came acknowledgement, understanding, and putting away of ego, thinking that, well, you can't talk to me this way because I'm the doctor, I know better. Meanwhile, I'm the patient. And I already know in some ways I'm not going to be listened to because of how I look. And so I need to advocate for myself. So in me advocating for myself, I need you to put your ego aside and not assume that I am trying to tell you what to do in your job. But I do own the right to tell you what to do with my body. And as a black woman, that becomes an even deeper well that we have to dig for ourselves and find safe people to put in those spaces with us. Because it ain't safe out there. In 2026, they're still trying to debate whether or not black skin is thicker. Whether or not black kids do worse or better on ADHD medication. Meanwhile, black kids are the ones that are the least diagnosed or are diagnosed later in life. Because, they just attitudinal or hyper. The adultification of black kids is why so many of us go undiagnosed or underdiagnosed. And then we fight for IEPs, fight for 504s, being told that, we just need to try harder. Meanwhile, this kid has dyslexia. This kid may be on the spectrum. This kid has undiagnosed depression and anxiety because of what they deal with on a daily basis. And, they just grin and bear it, be stronger. Meanwhile, there's somebody right now with an Adderall prescription for no reason. Just to have it, and they happen to not look like us. My walks are heavy. This is where I'm able to kind of dump out my brain outside of like actual brain dumps that I do at home. But it's necessary. It's necessary. And I'm happy to have you here along with me. We love a good tough talk. We love a deep conversation over here.